you guys are facing now, knowing that this is probably a must-win if you guys want to move on and kind of qualify for the World
Cup? Is pressure because know the importance of performing and getting points, especially at home on home soil. Of course, we would have loved to win the first game against Honduras. Picking up a point in Nashville against the U.S. where we could have even won the game. It's a good point, but we'd be satisfied with nothing less than a win tomorrow. No added pressure, but we know what we need to do. We've done our homework too, and this is a confident group. And when I say confident, not overly confident and think that we're gonna walk in and get 3 points, but a team that knows what it takes to win, a team that knows that it's going to take sacrifice on both ends of the pitch. So we're looking forward to it. And we definitely know that our fans and our supporters are behind us. We want to make sure that we play some attractive football while doing it.
Thanks, Doneil. Good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. We'll go to Joshua Cloak from The Athletic.
Thanks, Sandra. Hey, Doneil, when you think about what this team has done through 2 games, just from a defending perspective, what have you really liked about the way that the team has defended, and where do you maybe see need for improvement, again, just from a kind of defensive tactical standpoint?
I think we're not giving too many chances, which is very important. Like we said, we have 14 games and we want to try to concede as less as possible, but the communication has been great. The leadership has been great. We've been very vocal and within telling each other what we need from each other. And defending is not a 4 or 5, whatever, or a 6. Defending comes from a full team, and I think that everybody understands that it's going to take the full team effort. Defending from the front or just being in the right place at the right time. Our tactics are always implemented within who we're playing and what's going to benefit the team down the road. So. From that standpoint, I think we've done well, but there's always room for improvement. So we're definitely going to make sure that we're trying not to give up silly set pieces or forgetting assignments and stuff. But besides that, no, we just want to be aggressive, be cool and collective in the box, and make sure that we make sure the distance in defending are correct.
Thank you. Do we have a follow-up for Neil or Derek?
Sure, I'll take a follow-up, Sandra.
Go ahead.
I guess, Doneil, I want to ask you about the depth of this squad. Obviously, there's. It sounds like Alfonso's not going to be around for tomorrow, but it looks like you guys have players that can step in and fill these roles probably better than you've ever had on this team, where your depth is 23 players. I just want to ask you about that depth and how important that is when you're playing 3 games in a week.
Playing 3 games in a week, I think the hardest job is for the manager, because he has 23, whatever the group of players is, of hungry players who want to play and who feel every single time that they deserve to play. So him making sure that he gets the team right on the day. But I think that what's the most important and what's the most intriguing thing is that you have 23 players that are ready to surrender their jersey every time they step on the pitch, knowing that the 11 guys who are on the pitch are going to are going on there to get the job done, and the guys who are coming off the bench are going to make an impact. And you've seen that over the case of the 2 games so far. The subs came on and really put in a shift. So no, I think if anybody has a hard job, it's the manager, but he has everybody under a certain belief. And when we came together, we said that everything is for the team, and no one is bigger than the team. So we look forward to always making sure that this Canada team is whole and is one.
Can you give us an update, an injury update on Alfonso Davies and anyone else in your squad who there are some issues with?
Yeah, thanks, Neil. Alfonso didn't train today, and I'll be providing an update either later today or probably tomorrow morning as we continue the assessment.
Is he still with the team?
Yeah, he's still with the team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. We'll go to Derek Van Dice from Post Media.
John, I want to ask you about the importance of the depth in your squad when you're playing 3 games in 8 days. You've obviously rotated some guys in for first and second game, but you have that luxury now where maybe in the past this team didn't have the luxury of being able to bring guys on that hadn't played in the game or the game before that. Can you just give me a thought on your roster and the confidence you have in players that maybe didn't play in their first or second game to be able to perform in the third?
Yeah, I think it's critical to have a roster that's completely focused, committed, so that when they're called on, they're ready to go. And I think you've seen that with young Buchanan coming off the bench, Atiba Hutchinson coming off the bench, Sam Adekugbe starting the game, Doneil starting the game. You know, I think it's the focus and the commitment and just the desire to get this team to Qatar. You know, the boys are behind the scenes. They're just committed, doing everything that's required, the high performance processes, the tactical meetings. There's no disappearing out and going in adventures in Toronto. And it's just, these boys are dialed in. So the squad is focused and every man's ready to play their part. And that's a great place to be as a coach.
Just as a quick follow-up, John, I want to ask you about El Salvador. Do you see them as being similar to what Honduras brought, or have you got a chance to see it, or are they going to be a kind of a different kettle of fish here?
Yeah, they're a good team, and I think every game is a battle. Like it's clear there has to be a level of commitment and intensity that our players bring, because what we've seen from El Salvador is the sum of the parts there equals greater than the whole. They really do operate in a cohesive way. They can run all day, and they're a real threat on the transition. So we're going to have to be on our game tomorrow to get a result.
Thanks, John. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. We'll go to Joshua Cloak from The Athletic.
Hey, John, during the last game against the United States, when the team went through a bit of a tactical shift in and around that 20-minute mark, I'm just curious, what did you learn from your team in terms of their ability to be tactically flexible during that point?
Yeah, it's important. You know, it was a similar rhythm change to the US game in the Gold Cup, and a similar rhythm change to the game against Mexico. So the players are embracing that adaptable approach. They're embracing being able to focus intently on a specific way of playing for a period of time and then shifting focus. And I think they've enjoyed that. They feel they've got a little bit of a weapon in their arsenal now where, you know, for a 15, 20-minute period, everyone's so intently focused on doing one thing together. And I think it's really helping the cohesion. So, yeah, I think they're going into matches with a confidence that, you know, we can adapt to situations and take control of moments when momentum may shift.
Thank you. Are there other questions? I see don't have hands up, so I have one closing question. If no other hands come up, my question, John, will be, what do you need to see from the Canadian fans tomorrow to be that 12th man for Canada?
What they did. They came alive and I think created the sort of atmosphere these boys have been dreaming of playing for their country. You know, I think the away team started to feel it. I think the refs started to feel it. But I think the most important part was just they brought the urgency to the team. They really got us into a sixth gear and on the front foot. So the players feel it. But when they talk in the dressing room, some of them said it's the first time they felt the fans like that. Felt like they know how important it is to get us to Qatar. So we want to see a sea of red, a red sea around this stadium, and let it feel like our fortress. Like it's time. You know, we're not getting this time back.
Thank you. I do believe we have a follow-up question from Neil Davidson.
Thanks, Sandra. John, you and your staff have access to all sorts of metrics these days, medical information. Obviously, you're trying to use all your roster to keep everybody healthy in this compressed schedule. But what kind of demands are there on a player when you have these 3 games in a week and travel?
Yeah, it's tricky, Neil. It's really tricky because, right at the core of all of our commitments when you sign up as a coach is the health of players, the well-being. So, you can never put that at risk. And that's the starting point. We've got great medical people who, at times as coaches, you put people on the razor's edge to make decisions. But at the end of the day, they'll always come back to supporting players and making the right decisions for them. And I'm going to keep saying this. This is a war with 14 battles, with 2 down, with a few more to go. So we've got to manage this group of lads. We're learning a lot. This is the first 3-game window that Concacaf has seen. You'll see around Europe, there's a lot of injuries that are occurring, a lot of COVID cases. At this point, we've been COVID clean, which is brilliant. The staff and the boys have been so diligent around that, not to bring any risk to the environment. So, yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, but we came in with a good plan. I think that was the starting point. We came in with a clear plan. We communicated that to the players so they had clarity, and every man's had a mission so far. They've known what they had to contribute, and known that we've never put them into what I would call the deepest waters that are going to make it unsafe for them. So, yeah, we're in a good spot at this moment, Neil, and it's going to help, I think, bode well for the coming matches in the October window as well.